Brigitte Gabriel, our Lebanese queen, is going to tell us all about the situation in Syria. I'm Talib Traveling Glad, your favorite Zionist prince. Let's check it out.
This is all bad news, very bad news. We now have a combination of Al-Qaeda and ISIS basically controlling a country. Here's what you need to know. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the rebel Islamic group that took over Syria and ousted Assad, are led by Abu Muhammad al-Julani. Al-Julani is an Al-Qaeda terrorist. He was the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. In 2006, Julani was arrested by US troops in Iraq and thrown in jail. That's where he met the head and founder of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. In 2011, al-Baghdadi sent Julani to Syria to start Jabhat al-Nusra. In 2012, it became a formidable front. In 2013, Baghdadi cut ties with Al-Qaeda and went to Syria to establish the Islamic State of Iraq and al-Sham, what is known as ISIS. ISIS wanted to absorb Julani's group, but he resisted, declaring his allegiance to Al-Qaeda. He did not want a global caliphate like ISIS. He just wanted an Islamic State within Syria. Al-Qaeda didn't do much to help him. So in 2016, he branched out on his own. His organization, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, had one goal: defeat Assad and topple the Syrian regime. He established within Syria a mini state controlled by him and under Sharia law in Idlib, a city with about 5 million people. They established a civilian front called the Syrian Salvation Government. They ruled like a state. They had a prime minister and a government department. After the end of ISIS by Trump, Julani tried to change his image as a moderate ruler who supports order. But those who lived under his rule accused him of silencing opposition, targeting journalists, and imposing harsh restrictions. He ruled like the Taliban ruled in Afghanistan. He is a dangerous militant jihadi. Julani is not his original name. His original name is Ahmad Hussein al-Shara. He adopted the name Julani because he wanted to show his intentions of what he wants to do, which is liberate al-Sham. Al-Sham is the Islamic name of Syria, which not only includes Syria, but also Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. So when he talks about freedom and independence for al-Sham, he is talking about all these countries. We are looking at the reshaping of the Middle East and the shifting of powers and alliances. And yes, Iran and Russia are weakened, but the rebels came to power because of the help of Turkey and Erdogan, who is now emerging as a new threat. Erdogan helped the rebels get this victory. Erdogan believes that he is the leader of the Sunni Muslims, and he wants to bring an end to Western civilization, so the Islamic empire will flourish. Turkey is a NATO nation. They are not some crazy group led by a wacko leader and no one listens to. Erdogan and Julani, the head of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, have the same goal: defeat Western civilization and re-establish al-Sham, the Islamic Greater Syria, which encompasses Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. Under this new rule in Syria, the minorities will be persecuted, especially the Christians and the Kurds.
I mean, they already are. That's the situation, is like under the current administration and even before, there is no Islamic form of governance at the moment that has preserved, especially in the wider Islamic world, outside of the Khalij, the Hijaz, the Gulf countries, that has preserved the integrity of countries that are, or of populations that are minority groups. So for example, yesterday I was on the border of Syria, I almost went into Syria itself. I got in a little bit of a car crash, so that stopped me from actually going in, but I was with the IDF and we were going to basically be inside of Syria. And, you know, when you look at the situation unfolding, you can see that there's so many splotches of land that are controlled by different terrorist factions, but the terrorists all come together on one goal, which is ethnically cleansing the land or genociding non-Sunni Muslim populations. That's the idea. If you're not a Sunni, you don't belong, or you don't have the right to exist. Maybe in the future, if we don't eradicate all of you, then you can exist as a dhimmi population, paying your jizya and staying quiet and staying small. So that's the current situation. When I was on the border yesterday with the Druze, you know, you're having conversations with people and they're telling you we cannot live next to these people anymore. This governance is going to kill us. We don't trust anymore. We can't be with them. We rather take the side of Israel any way, shape, or form. And Brigitte is absolutely correct. You know what I find so fascinating? For all these talks on the conspiratorial Mossad, Jeffrey Epstein, Greater Israel camp, that like Israel wants to take over more land and control the world. I'm like, bro, how many Islamic terrorist groups exist now? Not even talking about the past, right now, that literally want to take over giant swaths of the Middle East so then they can then take over the world? How many do you have that are actively pursuing it, and yet Israel keeps getting smaller? Keeps getting smaller. Israel, for the last 77 years, has had a track record of relinquishing land, including the Sinai Peninsula, which was 3 times its size, to give up in pursuits of peace, which I, as an Israeli who believes in peace through strength, think was a foolish idea in retrospect. I mean, I appreciate the peace that we have with Egypt. Peace. They still funded and allowed October 7th to happen. But yeah, I appreciate that we have peace. But when I look at I'm like, bro, how can you be so blind, brother? How can you be so blind? The Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlsons of the world, and all the little conspiracy theorists in between. Israel controls the world. Israel controls your life. Israel's trying to get bigger and expand. Are you not paying attention? You're not paying attention, I know, because you wouldn't be able to point to any. If I gave you a map to half of these people, said point to Damascus, point to Beirut, point to Tel Aviv, point to Jerusalem, point to Gaza, show it to me on a map and understand the dynamics. Who lives here? Who lives here? Who lives here? Yes, for the fucktards out there who are like, I don't need to know everything about it. You need to know something about it. You need to know which ethnic minorities live there. You need to understand the politics. You need to know which religions are there. To understand the dynamics of why things are happening. You have to understand what happened 1,000 years ago to understand where we are today. And you can't just sit there and be like, well, I don't agree with killing women and children. Well, okay, so how about the Druze women and children that have been murdered in Syria in the last 24 hours nonstop? It's reaching 1,000, the casualty count, that none of you have said a word about. No Tucker, no Dave Smith, no Candace, not a word. Not a fucking word. You tell me real quick who's being the hypocrite. You tell me who's on a mission of expansionism and influence to take over the world. You tell me. Is it this tiny nation of 7 million people, 10 million, which 2 million are Arab and 7 million are Jews, who are literally just trying to fucking survive? Or is it the hundreds of millions of radical Islamist fascists who keep expanding and killing and murdering other people in the pursuit of taking over the world? You tell me. See you guys in the next one. I love you a long time. Goodbye, Klats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.